A touchscreen that sees, listens, and thinks without needing a computer behind it. That's the idea behind this device. It's called the CrowPanel Advanced 7-inch, and it's part of a new wave of embedded displays. These aren't just screens anymore, they are complete AI-capable systems. In this video, I'll show you what's inside, what you can build with it, and whether it's worth your attention. In my experience, building a smart display meant making some tough choices. One option was to use a Raspberry Pi with a screen attached, as I did in my Raspberry Pi bench computer project. It works, but it's bulky, it's power hungry, and honestly an overkill for wall panels. Another option was using a simple microcontroller display. These are compact and cheap, but they're also limited. They have no real processing power, no AI capabilities, and usually no camera support. This device though, from Electro, sits right in the middle of those two options. It's a 7-inch touchscreen with a processor designed specifically for AI workloads. It's got built-in support for a camera and a microphone, plus wireless connectivity. And it's all packed into something thin enough to mount on a wall and cheap enough to put in every room. The company behind the ESP32 is Espressif, and Espressif built a new chip for exactly this use case. It's the ESP32-P4, and it has dedicated purpose-built silicon hardware for processing images and video. There's also a second chip on board, the ESP32-C6, that handles all the wireless communication. It's got Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth 5.3. These two chips work together but don't compete for resources. A simple way to look at this arrangement is that the brain is the ESP32-P4 and it does the thinking, while the radio, implemented by the ESP32-C6, does the talking. Now let's talk about some of the things you can actually build with this device, just to give you an idea of what's possible. The first application that comes to mind is a smart home control panel. You mount it on a wall and use it to control your lights, the thermostat, and security system, and all from one place. The wireless modules are swappable, which means that one device can talk to Zigbee lights, Wi-Fi cameras, and Bluetooth sensors. You just choose what you need for your setup and implement it like that. You can also add voice control through the built-in microphone and get audio feedback from the speakers. The CrowPanel can control every light switch in your house, and it's cheap enough to have one CrowPanel display in each room. You'll have touch to control, voice to command, and a screen smart enough to show you which lights are left on or which doors are left open. The second application that comes to mind is AI-powered security. When you connect the camera module, you get a built-in video feed right on the display. The processor in the display is capable of running face detection locally. No cloud connection is required. This means that your video never leaves your home or business. You can use the device to display alerts, recognize family members, and log unknown visitors. And all the processing happens on the board, which has both performance and security benefits. The device isn't streaming video to a server for processing on the cloud. Instead, the AI runs directly on the device, so your data stays private. You could also build a voice assistant station. The microphones that are built into the device can pick voice commands, and the dual speakers can respond with clear audio. For industrial applications, the specifications hold up well. According to these specifications, the operating temperature range goes from -20 to +70 degrees Celsius. That makes it suitable for machine dashboards, factory floor interfaces, and meeting room booking panels, just to name a few examples. Electro built this device for learning, experimentation, and for heavy and physically demanding workloads. Let me explain what makes all these applications possible. We'll start with the vision system. The board can connect to a 2-megapixel camera through a dedicated interface. There's a dedicated image processor on the ESP32-P4 that handles color correction, sharpening, and formatting, all in the hardware. The chip can even encode H.264 video without slowing down anything else running on the system. This is the same type of image pipeline that you'll find in a smartphone camera running on a $46 board. Now let's talk about wireless connectivity. The wireless connectivity on this device is remarkably flexible. Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth 5.3 are built in, but there's also a slot for swappable modules. You can add LoRa for long-range communications, Zigbee for smart home devices, or Thread for Matter compatibility. It's one board that speaks multiple wireless languages, and you choose what your project actually needs. This device packs powerful hardware for the price, and that is supported by flexible programming options. The device runs on ESP-IDF, which is well documented and has a huge community behind it. If you worked with any ESP32 board before, then you'll feel right at home. Arduino IDE is also supported if you prefer that environment. I did my experimentation using Visual Studio Code on Linux Mint and had no issues trying the sample code and even trying some custom programming. As with Arduino and ESP32 boards, this device runs firmware, not an operating system, and therefore you have full control over what is running inside. Electro provides 15 structured lessons that cover everything from the basics to camera and audio integration, and all the example code is available on GitHub. For graphics in particular, it uses LVGL, which is an industry standard library with beautiful pre-built widgets. And I found the documentation and examples are better than what I've seen from most development boards at this price point, and they seem mature enough to be useful right now. Now you might be wondering whether you could just use the Raspberry Pi with a touchscreen or maybe repurpose a tablet. Now here's my opinion as to how these devices compare. Now this device isn't competing with tablets, of course. It's competing with industrial HMI panels that typically cost 5 to 10 times as much. The fact that makers and hobbyists can now access this kind of hardware for under $50, now that's the real story here. Now here's my opinion about who might benefit from this display. This is a good option for you if you want to build a dedicated smart display rather than repurposing a general purpose computer. It's also a good option to consider if you're interested in edge AI and want to process data locally instead of sending it to the cloud. It's also an excellent option if you need something that boots instantly, runs reliably, and uses minimal power, and is simpler than a computer. I found that this device is a good option for anyone that wants full control over their software and the user experience. However, you might want to look elsewhere if you need to run Linux applications directly on the device. And the same goes if you want something plug and play with no programming required. And if you only need a simple display without AI and audio features, then Electro's basic series will cost you a lot less. The ESP32-P4 chip is brand new, and devices like this are just starting to hit the market. What excites me isn't the specifications themselves. It's what becomes possible when AI-capable, camera-capable, and voice-enabled displays cost less than a nice dinner out. We're talking about a whole new array of applications that makers with basic programming skills can create, such as smart mirrors that recognize who's standing in front of them and intercoms that know exactly who's at the door, and of course dashboards that understand what they're displaying. The building blocks for all of this are finally here for us to use. In my next video, I'll show you how to actually use the camera connector. We'll get a live feed running on the display and talk about how to add face detection. If you want to see that, then hit the subscribe button so you don't miss it. Links to everything I've mentioned are in the description below. I'm looking forward to your comments, and I'll see you in the next one.